We had a very,
That really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation light, okay? But
The WNBA All-Star Press Conference was meant to be a time of celebration and solidarity, but that image was destroyed as soon as Kelsey Plum spoke.
Kelsey Plum blows the lid off the joint, letting us all in on a small secret.
She didn't just call out Caitlin Clark with a single strange remark and a chuckle. She attempted to degrade her in front of national television cameras, but Caitlin has remained silent up to this point due of her recent remarks, which left everyone speechless. Write Team CC in the comments if you support Caitlin in this feud. Kelsey Plum abruptly criticized Caitlin Clark's whole squad for missing a morning meeting over the now viral clothing protest during the WNBA All-Star post-game press conference. And the internet went crazy the moment she stated this. Sabrina Ionescu offered some big eye rolls as the room became tense. And one of the tittiest moments in WNBA history was triggered by what began as a subliminal barb. The actual harm is now being caused by Caitlin's response. Allow me to explain what started it all. Consequently, the league's most talked about player, Caitlin Clark, was forced to miss this All-Star game. She was essentially out of the spotlight as she healed from a groin injury. And that ought to have been the conclusion. Instead, she was the victim of the most well-publicized backhanded slap the WNBA has ever witnessed. T-shirts were the first. Wearing striking black T-shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us," each of the All-Star players took the court.
Pay us what you owe us. And of course, everybody clowned that.
At first, supporters viewed it as a long overdue protest for equal pay, better working conditions, and respect in the workplace. In fact, it's not often that players from different teams and backgrounds speak with one voice. However, it soon became apparent that nothing about the event was spontaneous. In a private meeting that very morning, it was prearranged. Kelsey Plum even described it as a very powerful moment. She said that the majority of the players were taken by surprise and that they all agreed to carry this out in a special meeting that very morning. Up until this time, everything was going smoothly. But then, with a single thoughtless statement, she completely destroyed the meaning.
Kelsey Plum decided to give some backstory about these shirts, and she took a shot at Caitlin Clark.
Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
Not to brag, but there weren't any Team Clark members present at all for that. Hold on, what?
Team Clark? They had no idea what was awaiting them walking into that locker room come WNBA All-Star.
Rather than commemorating the potent moment of solidarity, Kelsey Plum made a bold decision to turn away from the things that united them and instead concentrate on the people who failed to show up. Instead of emphasizing unity, she focused on absence. To be honest, it seemed more like a targeted shot than a team message.
Even help these chicks get paid, bro. Bro, there's a part of me that don't even feel like she should help them get.
And whether she meant it or not, criticizing Clark's group in that manner came across as more of a drama-starting school snitch than a show of leadership. And it was successful. Fans immediately took sides after the media seized on it. In the meantime, Caitlin Clark, who was ostensibly going about her business, abruptly became the symbol of divide in a league that prides itself on unity. The greatest thing, though, is that Kelsey attempted to hide the entire incident by claiming she was merely making a lighthearted joke. However, nobody was giggling.
This is a joke gone so badly wrong that it's got Kelsey Plum going viral, and it's got the people that hate Caitlin Clark using it as a way to hate Caitlin Clark.
Sitting just next to her was Sabrina Ionescu. The reason Sabrina was jogging 6 miles every night was because the net still needed to be patched. Additionally, the women who were raped were never given the opportunity to create a movie. Additionally, because no single box owner cared, the net was never given the opportunity to produce a movie with enough protection, so the movie was never funded. Sabrina's reaction was epic there.
Ionescu did not like this shit, by the way. I give her credit because she was like, oh boy. I mean, it was ridiculous, but here we go.
Her expressions conveyed a lot. She was aware that the internet would go crazy as soon as Plum said those words, and it would not be in favor of her. And you know what? All along, she was correct.
Sabrina, appreciate you holding it down. You held it down, Sabrina.
Let's clarify one point, though. It wasn't by coincidence that the meeting was held without Team Clark. The WNBA has never witnessed a greater draw than Clark. Do you believe that the fact that none of her teammates showed up was a coincidence? That none of the NA's Stewie, the WNBA's leadership, spoke to them?
They were walking into the arena with a good mood, smiling from ear to ear, getting ready to play some ball. And then they walk into the lock. On everybody's locker, unbeknownst to them, there's a shirt that says, "Pay us what you owe us."
There is a fundamental issue with this entire situation. Without the one player who truly makes a difference for the entire league, they might have planned the shirts and everything else. Nevertheless, Kelsey had to confront Caitlyn because she wanted the attention. Additionally, she revealed the true issue, blatant, flaming jealousy, by attempting to disparage Caitlyn.
These WNBA players, they get more unlikable every day. And the blatant...
Because they must pay us no matter how loudly they yell. Everyone is aware that Caitlyn Clark alone is responsible for 90% of that paycheck. These players are aware of it. The supporters are aware of it. The league knows it. This is what set the fuse in motion. Social media took off, but not to Plum's advantage. These shirts sparked outrage rather than support. Supporters criticized the league for its hypocrisy and referred to it as performative. Plum came under fire for openly disparaging a teammate who lacked the physical strength to defend herself. What Plum had hoped would be a moment of pride became a PR catastrophe. The entire All-Star weekend felt like a middle school cafeteria feud after she made one comment. However, Caitlyn took a while to reply. And because Caitlyn was observing, her silence cried out louder than anything Kelsey Plum could have said. And she didn't only clap back when she did reply. She flipped the entire story around. Thus, it took place beneath an Instagram post. Clark also stole the show when Kelsey Plum posted a picture from the All-Star game, presumably anticipating comments that would hype her up for the Pay Us shirts. Just 6 words under that photo, she wrote. "I appreciate the Nike advertisement. That's all." And because that was insane to people who received it, the internet went berserk. Since Plum is an athlete for Under Armour and Clark is affiliated with Nike, Plum effectively turned her own post into a free advertisement for her main rival by sharing a picture of Caitlyn with Nike gear. And there is the distinction. Caitlyn Clark differs from the others because of this. She didn't have to have a press conference or dispute on television. She didn't even tag her in actuality. Because she is aware that her numbers speak louder than her noise, she simply reminded everyone, without saying it aloud, that she is playing chess while the others are fighting over checkers. She is aware of who attracts the fans. Most significantly, she is fully aware of the stakes. Her presence benefits this league in more ways than one. It is essentially clinging to it. However, they use those same data to plead for a raise while berating her, making fun of her, and labeling her fans racist. You can't have both of them. You can't make money off of her jersey sales while disparaging her in interviews. Retired NBA luminaries are now voicing their opinions, criticizing Plum's remarks, as well as Clark's treatment during All-Star Weekend. Real legends recognize a rising star when they see one, and the astute ones realize that you shield that star. So when 3-time NBA champions start criticizing your actions, it crosses a line. The individual who is keeping your league afloat is not someone you start arguments with. Let's be serious for a second. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a player in the WNBA. She is the main attraction in the WNBA. Let me tell you whether you believe that to be an exaggeration.
Three is here. Caitlyn Clark is the one bringing in the numbers. We watch.
When it was revealed that Caitlyn had a groin injury and will not be participating in the All-Star game, the cost of tickets decreased by 50%. 50%.
The ticket prices dropped 50% when Caitlyn Clark was announced that she will not be participating due to her injury. The ticket price.
When the market fell and there was only one player left, you realize how crazy that is? That's power, not simply popularity. Furthermore, that power is quantifiable. By donning the Pay Us What You Owe Us shirts, the other players did make the news. However, the event's worth immediately decreased as Caitlyn left.
These women are insufferable. They don't deserve more money. They don't get any ratings outside of Caitlin Clark. They openly disrespect her. They don't.
And now the process of their demise has begun.
Exactly what Stephanie White Lies has to say.
Well, I haven't seen C since the game last night, but, I think she's progressed.
According to the most recent information, Caitlyn will not be playing in Tuesday night's game against the New York Liberty.
I don't expect her to be available on Tuesday.
Are we truly anticipating an all-star event that may resemble a high school gym exhibition game more than a primetime display of the top women's basketball players? Because it's easy. Hype cannot be created. You cannot gain star power by protesting. Caitlyn deserved it. While the others continue to figure out how to make their own postings into free Nike advertisements, she will now be over here stacking wins, endorsements, and airtime. Overall, the WNBA is facing a challenge. They're suddenly insufficient without Caitlin Clark, not because she receives too much attention. They requested the amount owing, but perhaps it's time to inquire as to why the checks aren't sent when she's not in court. She is the source of the income.
End of the day, she the one really bringing the numbers in. Like, what are you talking about?
Additionally, the fact that she is not playing even one game presently raises an awkward question. The reason one profession cannot take up one fist is because doing so is unfair and causes both entities to break down in order to address a single disagreeable issue. Was this the wake-up call the WNBA needed? Or is the league going to continue to bite the hand that feeds them? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Additionally, remember to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more material like this. You don't want to miss the next big thing.